Namaskar, welcome to the Snakemaster program. We are very happy, though it was raining when we started out. Now suddenly there is bright sunlight. Anyway, today we are out in this mix of rain and shine. Our Snakemaster team has received the first call of the day from Thiruvananthapuram district, and the exact location is near Babuji Nagar, close to the house of a dear friend of mine. Apparently, while he was walking along a well, he heard a sound from it. When they checked, they spotted a snake guest inside the well. Interestingly, around 10 days ago, I had come to a nearby house just below this area for another rescue. It was a cobra with just its head sticking out from a hole. But I couldn't take it out as the rock formation was huge and I couldn't break it or lift it. It was a middle-sized cobra, but unfortunately I couldn't do anything. Also, it was inside another person's compound and they didn't give permission to break the structure. So anyway, let's not waste time. It is raining steadily, and before it pours again, let's meet our dear friend and rescue our snake guests. The well has quite a good amount of water in it. It is about 10 feet deep and the water level has risen close to the brim. You saw it inside this well earlier this morning? Yes, while I was walking along the well, it was a sound that drew my attention. It's quite deep, isn't it? About 40 feet deep. And another snake also went inside this hole. Yes, it entered the hole. Is it small? It is a small one. Where was the hole? This side? Is there connecting holes from here? Is it the hole below that red brick? Anyway, it was seen climbing up. Alright, we shall have to get down and check, but we can't go down just like that. There are no places where we can rest our feet and stand properly. So let's have a look from up here. He hasn't called too many people to the spot either. Look, there is a snake floating in the water. About 10 days ago, I had come to a nearby house for a rescue mission. It was a 2 to 3 year old cobra. The snake looks exactly like the one I found there. The house just below here. I remember the cobra was having its head sticking out from a wall. This snake may have climbed through this banana plant here. As soon as people spotted it, it may have darted into the well. You mentioned you saw another one too, right? Now when we try to catch it, it may go down again. There is a good chance of that. Do you think it was a cobra? I think so. Alright, let's not waste time. First, let's move the plantain aside so we can get better access. Luckily, we can move it easily. Thankfully, there is no bunch of bananas on it. The snake could have climbed down through this net as well. By the way, I think it will be hard to climb down the well as its wall is damp and slippery. The soil is loose and could crumble. Let's first try using an iron wire. We can use a long pole or stick for this, but I am using this iron wire since it was readily available here. Now see, it's quite healthy. It had been keeping its head down all this while, but now here it is. Let's try to bring it out safely. I am not climbing down outright, since the footholds on the wall could cave in. That's why I am using this iron wire after making a hook at one end. Not only this, there is another one. It has gone into a hole. I shall have to check that too. Oh, it has gone down into the water. Yes, it has come back again. We must take it out gently without causing injury. Yesterday, when I went to catch a snake at another place, they said I could pin the snake's head with a snake tongue. They told me that's how they usually catch it. but I warned them. If you tried to catch a snake that way, it could die. Using a tongue to tightly grip the snake might break its neck. We all know that across the world, venom is extracted from a snake by gently restraining its head. The snake is usually handled carefully, often with a hook or by hand, and made to bite onto a glass or plastic container covered with a soft membrane like parafilm or cling film. So there is no danger to the snake's head in that process. Some people spread false information saying things like don't grab it by the head or don't hold its tail, it will get twisted. All that is just nonsense, made up stories. Now we might be able to easily take it out of the water, but there is a problem. 90% of its body is submerged. We need to get it out without injuring it. If it gets hurt, we shall have to take it to hospital. Just yesterday, I rescued one after a big wall collapsed on it. Its tail was badly crushed and injured. This snake has gone down again. It might resurface in a minute or two. It must be underwater holding its breath. Generally, cobras do this, but vipers don't stay submerged for long. Even if a viper dives, it will usually keep its head above the surface. A cobra might stay under for 2 to 3 minutes, maybe a bit more, but monitor lizards are different. I once tried to rescue a monitor lizard in Kottayam. It jumped into the water and stayed submerged for nearly an hour and a half, holding its breath the whole time. This one has gone straight down. Let's keep watching. It could reappear anywhere. Look, there is one here inside this hole, right here. So we shall check that one too. But first we need to bring this one up. Let's wait a bit. There, it is resurfacing. Look, the head has emerged. Yes. Ajit, this is the same one we saw last week, isn't it? It has exactly the same head. It was fully inside the hole then, with just the head sticking out. Same as now, I am sure it is the same one. This area seems to be infested with snakes. It may slide back down after getting scared. But it hasn't. It is safely out. This one is a small snake, a young female around a meter in length. This is the same one I spotted about 10 days ago in that hole. Only the head was visible. When I approached, it pulled back inside again. I even shone a torch and checked, but I couldn't pull down the stone structure as the occupants of that house were just tenants. There are plenty of snakes in this area, no doubt. But fortunately, no snakebite deaths have been reported here in recent times. This female cobra is around 4 years old. We are now placing her in the bottle. After that, we shall search for the next one in the well. There is nothing to worry about this cobra. It is sitting calmly. We can safely place her in the bottle. Could you get me a bottle? Anyway, we shall bottle this one up now. This snake is not that big, so a bottle will do. We don't need a sack. In many places, I have noticed this. In Shabarimala, for instance, you will find plenty of small snakes. They are best suited for bottling. We have now placed it in the bottle. Let it sit here for now. We have a small task left, but I think the well wall won't collapse because this is good old cement. They said they saw a snake go into this hole, but I haven't found it yet. When we inserted the rod, we saw that the hole goes deep inside. There is nothing we can do while standing like this. The soil isn't stable. If we get in, it might collapse. The caller said there is about 10 to 30 feet of water in this well. There it is. There it goes. It is confirmed. It has gone down, but clearly the caller wasn't wrong. They were right. There are 2 snakes in this well. It is a very young cobra, maybe just 10 to 25 days old, or about a month at most. That's my rough estimate. The other snake we caught earlier must have tried to eat it. Can you pass me that iron wire again? Anyway, we have now got another little guest, a 4-year-old female earlier, and now this one, barely a month old. Let's bring it out too. Honestly, I thought we would only find one. I wasn't expecting another, but luckily we did. Now we just need to bring this one out, but making it get into the hook is difficult. It is a baby. As I said, probably less than a month old. But it looks like it has already been bitten by something. Look here, seems like it has a wound. See, now we have got the baby cobra and an adult cobra. If the person who called me hadn't spotted it, this little one would have become food for the older cobra. This tiny snake is only as thick as a hump-nosed pit viper. Just a small one, barely a month old. Looks like the adult we caught earlier had probably tried to catch this baby. Just 2 days ago, I received 2 rescue calls during my travels. In both cases, I found baby spectacled cobras like this curled up inside the stomach of other snakes. So from the viewpoint of a large snake, this baby is nothing but a light snack. Anyway, today's morning journey turned out well. I was worried we wouldn't get both snakes. If the small one had gone amiss, I would have had to return next week. Get me a bottle. For baby cobras like these, a small bottle is more than enough. Big sacks or large bags are simply unnecessary. It is just silly for something this tiny. A small bottle is all we need. If needed, we could place this baby in the big bottle along with the adult. But there is a risk. Even if the adult doesn't bite or swallow the baby, it might kill it. Once in Maharashtra, we saw a wild snake climbing somewhere right in front of our camera. It caught a rat snake and began swallowing it whole. It wasn't bothered by our presence or the camera. It kept eating. So if we place them together, the adult might kill the baby. That's why we have kept them in separate bottles. So this baby is around a month old. The other is a female, nearly 4 years old. Anyway, dear viewers, we hope you enjoyed today's rescue adventure. We believe you would have found it interesting. We shall see you again in the next episode with new guests, new rescues and new stories. Until then, Namaste.